Mullen Automotive for once followed market trends. Hi again, everyone. Hope you're all doing really well. So Monday's opening to trade was an interesting one. We saw that Mullen Automotive basically followed the same line that the other two major indexes, the NASDAQ and S&P 500 did on the day, having very modest but rather flat gains, which is, interesting because Mullen Automotive generally runs to the works to the beat of its own drum, and so that was an interesting observation. A little bit sad. I was kind of hoping that we might get a bit of a rally in the stock, considering that there was a strong short interest stacking up, and obviously there was a lot of good catalysts that came for the business last week. Thought maybe we might get to see a bit of a return in the rallying action on Monday. Not the case, unfortunately. So still modest gains and still rather a flat finish, and again a flat finish in the aftermarket, so not too much to talk about there really. There was one other topic that I thought was interesting that I kind of thought about the other day, and I hadn't really given too much thought about this for Mullen Automotive. I think they're in a slightly better situation than this, but another stock that I've been looking at a little bit lately is that of Rivian. Obviously another EV maker, well known for their deal with Amazon and stuff. Now Rivian had a strong week last week because they produced more vehicles and delivered more vehicles than was expected, and that they're on track to outperform analyst expectations. And it was kind of a nice sign that some of these beat down EV companies might actually have their day in the sun eventually, including Mullen Automotive. However, when I was looking into Rivian a little bit more, there was something quite interesting which sort of struck me. So even though their vehicle deliveries are going up, their profitability isn't necessarily improving. And that's because there's like a fixed price on a lot of the vehicles that they are delivering. Now, a lot of people reserved vehicles and obviously waited for them to come, and they locked in that reserve price. And Mullen Automotive is in a similar position with, they've actually, sold or have reserved quite a few vehicles, a couple of thousand vehicles have been reserved for sale. And that means there's a bit of a locked-in price there as well. Now, I know that companies can have sort of adjustments to their prices, but this could kind of be a bit of a hindrance to Mullen Automotive in the sense that, we're going through a period of high inflation, especially in manufacturing sectors and in the inputs for vehicles and electric vehicles. So, the cost to produce the vehicles is actually going up. So I guess it'll be interesting to see when we start getting these vehicle deliveries if it's going to hurt the profit margin at all of the company. I know there's obviously they have their starting prices were $64,500 for the Class 1 van and $68,500 for the chassis truck. Now, that's starting price. So obviously there's flexibility there, and that's got to do with upgrades that purchasers choose to put in. But the fact that they still haven't really adjusted that benchmark starting price is an interesting one, and I think one to keep an eye out for. So I think as we head towards the August 3 shareholder meeting, that might be something that's worth being raised. What's the expected sort of profit margins we're going to get on these vehicles, and how much of an impact has the inflation and the cost of inputs going to have in eating into that potential profit margin? And I guess, will there be some time where they have to come and adjust the prices for those who have, already pre-ordered their vehicles? It's something I think that's really worth getting answers to. Yeah, and it's just a thought I kind of had over the weekend. I haven't had the opportunity to do any sort of updates on the stock, so I thought I'd do a quick one this morning or this evening in America. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on what's going on with Mullen Automotive. Do you have any other insights into the issues with the profit margins? What do you think? Do you think they're going to struggle with profitability on vehicles delivered like Rivian is, or do you think Mullen might fare a bit better? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, where do you think the stock's going come Tuesday? Love to hear from you guys. I hope you're all doing really well. Until next time, everyone, may the markets trade in your favor. Cheers.